Alrighty, so you might have seen on my Instagram stories, but pretty much the Hilux pretty much the alternator just right before Australia Day, and it's been sitting at this very spot. Got an awesome message from the Australia Post. Bloody finally got my alternator parts. They're coming shortly. It's supposed to be coming today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the top. Gonna start her up. Can't leave it running for too long, or otherwise the battery will crap itself. Even though it's a new battery, I kind of want to get good life out of it, so I'll make sure everything's turned off, give it a quick start. Good thing it's mechanical diesel, so it doesn't really need much to keep it running, just air pretty much. So I'll move the big N80 out of the way, put this in the shed, wait for the parts to arrive. Once it's here, we're going to jump straight into it. We're going to do a POV version of it, and yeah, it's going to be good. Alrighty, so apparently I wasn't even recording that segment, but I was pretty much explaining the whole time what the go is. So ended up moving the Hilux, my LN167 over into the carport over there. Oh, well, we got a bit of room. Off camera, what I've done is taken off the pigtail, and what I need to do now is take off the little B+ terminal, which is this little sucker right here. Take that off. Then afterwards, but before I do that, I'm gonna take off the battery. That way I got more room, and then I'll see how I go. But worst case, I heard online that from what I've seen, everyone recommends try and move this out of the way. Just remove the 2 bolts and all that. I don't know, I don't really want to if I don't have to. Yeah, now we'll see how we go. And also I may need to remove this fan shroud, that way I got a bit more room to work on, because right now we still gotta remove all the belts, in case you're wondering. You know, here's all the parts that we need. So we got 2 13A 1050s, which are your alternator ones. It says online that you only need 1, but you actually need 2. We got a 13A 1275, which is for your air conditioning. That's like the longest one, obviously. And your shortest one is your 13A 0825, which is for your power steering pump pulley. And for your aircon as well, I've also gotten a new pulley and bolt, because these are known to snap due to age and corrosion. So it's all the way down there. I'll show you later. Yeah, better off getting that replaced and sorted. But yeah, see how we go. We just chip away at it. Then here's the alternator as well. Big $400 alternator, Jazz. So it's a reputable brand. Here's the sucker itself. Oh, absolute humongous beast. Hopefully I don't have to do this again for a while. But oh, looks like they provide crush washers. That's good. I was saying before that you might need crush washers, but yeah, now this is one of them's for your oil feed line to keep it cool. The other one's for your, and then the other 2 I'm assuming are for vacuum, because diesels don't produce any vacuum from factory or from what they are, because they're diesels, unlike petrols which produce vacuum. So that's why you gotta have a vacuum pump. Thankfully for your 1KZs and N70s, they provided you with a vacuum pump inside the timing belt. So it makes it easier to do this job. Instead of having vacuum pumps and oil feed lines and all that. Yeah, now we'll get this off. So from memory, it's a 12mm. 12mm. Oh, that's 11. You've been. There we go. Oh, bloody. Alright, so that's 12. Gotta redo this whole shed area. Alright, so we'll get this alternator, this battery off, and we'll go from there. Also, you might need to remove this clip, which is what covers your B terminal right here. Just like that. Right. Alrighty guys, currently what I'm doing is trying to remove the B plus terminal lug nut. That way I can get that off and start removing some belts from there, start disconnecting some things from the alternator. Definitely a good investment in getting one of these Haynes manuals, whether they're online or on book. Definitely a good investment for it. Next up, it's time to remove the bottom bash plate. That way I can get some more access to remove the rest of the belts and some hoses. Holy.
Call me Bucky, lucky that I'm innocent. If I didn't have no mobiles, I'd be menacing. How about rapping conscious, but he.
Alrighty guys, so it's literally the next day now. Managed to get to the stage where I can take off the alternator. Yes, it took me at least good 4 hours to take everything off to at least get to the point to remove the alternator. Let me show you what I've done. So there's a cheeky little bagger itself, right there. All the belts are off. Under here, so what I need to try and do today is, after I take the alternator off, once I can work out how to, there we go. So this is part of the pulley, right here. But this is seized on. So you got this little bit which should slide off. Don't worry, the bolt comes off, I'll just put it there so it doesn't go missing. Yeah, this needs to slide off. That way I can pull it off from this side so I can put a new one. But it's seized on, it's been there for ages. What I had to do yesterday was grab a flathead, grab a hammer and just start banging it along to actually make it slide through so I could take the belt off. Also, the people that are looking to do this job, I had a bit of trouble trying to find the pivot bolt. Not the pivot bolt, the sliding bolt. So it's all the way, so there's your pivot bolt there. I ended up loosening that. And up here, right up there, is your sliding bolt right there. So a little tip, because the Haynes manual actually doesn't tell you where it is, which is odd. Yeah, now all the bolts are off. What I did to get the alternator one was I just slid it through the fan, slid it down, and then took it off. I also took off the bottom shroud, which is right here. Yeah, now pretty much what I have to do today is I've already, a bit hard to see, but this shiny bit hard is your inlet for your oil. So you got an outlet, then you got inlet, then you got your your vacuum pump. So this one, I've already taken it off. It's just on there in case any oil spills out. That way it just stays in there. And then, essentially, from there, it's one banjo bolt there, one banjo bolt underneath, right in the middle underneath. Take that off, and the bottom pivot bolt is already loose, so just loosen the rest. Top one's already gone. I've put it in the new alternator right here. I've also matched everything up when I was packing it all away yesterday. So yep, there's the top bolt, bottom, yeah, good stuff. Another quick tip, I believe the bottom banjo bolt has some crash washers that need to get replaced. Not sure about this top one, I don't see any. But yeah, the bottom one I believe is definitely it. I'll let you know. Mine luckily comes with it, so just make sure yours comes with it too. You know, we'll get into it. Get all these hoses off, take off the bottom bolt, and slide it out. Just put the new one in and pretty much start packing up. Once I put the new alternator in, I will try and figure out how to get that bloody idler pulley housing thing off. Yeah, no. Chip away at it. Alrighty guys, so made some good progress so far. Took me an hour to get the rest of the stuff out, so 5 hours removal time. What really got me was trying to actually remove it. So here you go. So if you have a look down here, so don't know if you can see, but it's a bit hard to see, but right, try and get from here. So that right there, where you see that gap and the two ends, that's where it goes in. I did tidy it up, just using a wire brush and a bit of brake cleaner. Make sure it's all clean, because a bit of oil did spill. Keep that in mind if you're ever doing this job, because obviously it uses oil to cool down the vacuum pump. So yeah. But yeah, now here's the old one and the new one. Pretty much just compared them right now. They both match, which is good. Same spot, same whatnot. So yeah, this one would be your excuse me. This one would be your inlet. Inlet. This one is your outlet. Hence the two crush washers for your inlet. And then this one uses a hose with a clamp on it. And then that's this one right here. It's where you put your vacuum hose, which is this crush washer right here. It should be fine. It looks fine, so I might reuse it. Worst case, it's right at the top, luckily. But I really wanted to make sure that the bottom one, where the oil goes in, is sorted. Everything else looks good. So obviously that's the vacuum noise and the oil that's left in there. But look at the play compared to this one. Nice tight. So yeah. It's not too bad, but it is a bit corroded in there. Mind you, I don't know how long this has been in there. Looked fairly new looked relatively decent when I first bought it, but that was a year ago, and I've done a lot of sand driving, mud driving, all of that. Also, there is a bit of electrical smell. So, safe to say that the smell was coming from the alternator. Oh yeah, definitely can smell it. If only there was smell-o-vision. Yeah, nah, this is probably the culprit. And why it failed too, probably was getting too old, but got a new one. I am gonna order a used one off online for $200. That way I have a spare if I ever go driving, because as much as I like new parts, $400 is a bit too much, especially if you're using it as parts. Pretty much what we're going to do now is we're going to chuck this into the car, make sure everything's tight, put everything in, and yeah. The only other thing I struggled with is trying to put this clamp back on. This is where you put all your hoses. This one goes at the top here, right there, but here is block, and plus I don't want to void my warranty, so we'll just leave it as is. Try and work around it. It was even clamped in anyway. It was zip tied in, so I can work around that. Yeah, now we'll get in. Actually, what I might do now is try and work out how to get that bloody clamp off, so we'll try and figure that out. Alright everyone, so I just replaced my alternator there and went to go connect the battery back up, but made sure it's positive, negative, obviously, but as I was put positive on first and I put my negative, then as I was putting negative on, it sparked a bit, that caused that. The next thing I know, then took it off, then made sure when go in the car, put it on the ignition, nothing but the battery light was on. That's the only thing. Aircon fan wasn't on, but the light was on. Then I went to go check the fuse box and I noticed this was blown. Anyone got any suggestions or ideas of what the hell just happened?